I'm just trying to remind myself because I'm really high. Oh, it's getting weird. Oh.
So apparently this was Connor Murphy's last video before passing away just yesterday, according to Thailand police. Apparently he was having an episode and the civilians called the police, and that's when he decided to go inside the lake, exhausting himself to his death.
So I'm just making this video so I can like watch it and remind myself, fuck, pinch myself, am I dreaming, is it real? Okay, just filming this for me. Okay, it's the camera roll, don't post this one. Okay, reminder, Connor, reminder, don't post this one.
I would say almost everyone saw this coming ever since a couple of years ago. This whole episode, whatever he was going through in his life started. A lot of people thought that it's just a way for him to get views. He's just trolling the whole internet. It's not Scarecrow's supplies that he was receiving. As it turned out, it was, as the police said, that they found multiple white pills inside his bag, inside his house and cars. They also shared images of his house and how he was living, which is very concerning. Unfortunately, he didn't get the help he needs, and he will, at least to me, will be remembered as the old Connor Murphy, and on how, as a teenager watching his videos, how entertaining they were. It really shows no one knows what's going on in someone's life. He had the fame, he had the looks, he had the height, he had the personality, he had everything, but he just lost it along the way, and he will be missed.
Note before filming, Connor Murphy's death has not been officially confirmed by his family, representatives, or Thai authorities as of this writing. This narration uses reportedly language throughout and attributes contested claims, drug use, psychosis, to their specific sources rather than stating them as fact. Update once official confirmation exists. He had over 2 million followers. A body built by a decade of discipline. And then, in the span of a few days, it all seemed to come apart. Ending, reportedly, in a lake in Thailand. Connor Murphy rose to fame in the mid-2010s, part of the first wave of YouTube fitness stars. His body transformation videos, workout content, and public pranks built him an audience of more than 2 million subscribers. He became one of the faces of what's now called looksmaxing, an online culture built around optimizing physical appearance. To his fans, he wasn't just a bodybuilder. He was proof that the internet could turn raw discipline into fame. But behind the highlight reel, something else was reportedly building. In early July 2026, Murphy was living in a rental home in the Bangkok district of Samut Prakan, Thailand. According to local outlets Thai Rath and the Bangkok Post, something had changed. Just days before his death, he posted a video to his channel with an unsettling caption, "Obituary pending." On the day in question, witnesses say Murphy returned to his residential village by taxi, behaving erratically. He reportedly tried to get into another vehicle, but the driver refused, uneasy about his state. Agitated, he began shouting enough that locals called the police. By the time officers arrived, Murphy had fled through the village. He ran to a nearby lake and jumped in. According to reports, he swam until he was exhausted and drowned. Investigators later said his rental home was covered in paint splatters, and that they'd found 2 unused syringes and unidentified white pills inside his vehicle. It's important to say clearly, the investigation is still ongoing, and none of this has been independently verified beyond local police accounts. Murphy's girlfriend, who spoke to press under a pseudonym, pushed back on the drug use narrative. She maintained she never witnessed any unusual behavior from him, and never saw him use drugs. But a former collaborator named Lyons, who says he cut ties with Murphy roughly 6 years earlier, painted a very different picture in a public post. He described what he believed was a psychotic break, one that, in his words, turned Murphy into someone unrecognizable, including a period where Murphy believed he was God. Lyons said he hoped the tragedy would serve as a warning about the risks of performance-enhancing drugs and hallucinogens. CBC News, among other outlets, has said clearly it could not verify these claims independently. Two very different accounts of the same man, from two people who both say they knew him well. Whatever the final facts turn out to be, Connor Murphy's story has struck a nerve, because it taps into something bigger than one man's tragedy. The looks-maxing community he helped popularize has exploded in recent years, especially among young men chasing an increasingly narrow, algorithm-driven standard of appearance. Critics have long warned that this culture, often intertwined with steroid and PED use, sells transformation without talking honestly about the psychological cost. If the reports about drug use and a possible mental health crisis are accurate, Murphy's death may become a cautionary chapter in that larger conversation. If they're not, his death is still a reminder of how quickly an online life can spiral into an offline crisis, far from home, far from support. As of now, there's been no official confirmation from Connor Murphy's family or Thai authorities. The investigation into what happened in that lake in Samut Prakan is still open. What we're left with is a familiar, uncomfortable shape, a public life built in front of millions, and a private ending that no one fully understands yet. If you or someone you know is struggling with substance use or mental health, help is available. In the United States, you can call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We'll update this story as more facts come in.